If you're a leader who wants to understand sales funnels and CTAs on a deeper level and get more, understand your results and how to improve your results, watch this video. So sales funnels, I've heard them called profit pyramids. In psychology and persuasion, sometimes they're called compliance ladders. So if you have any questions about this video or you want to get more neuroscience-y about it, feel free to reach out. I would love that. If you get value and you learn something new from this video, please reach out, put some comments, share, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. That would be awesome. Thanks. So the neuroscience and psychology behind sales funnels is usually invisible and doesn't need to be visible. But if you understand this on a more primal level, you can do things that people who have that more superficial level won't even see why it works. So the reason this is that way is because there's confusion about things, right? Long sales letters are best. They convert the best. That's true. Something else that's true is making it as easy as possible with as low commitment, as low effort as possible, taking under 8 seconds to ask them to do something converts best. That's also true. How can that be though, right? So it's because there's different things going on here. If you have, this is the top of the sales funnel, right? Awareness. So in the highest levels, there's going to be a minimum of commitment and investment, and therefore you need to make the ask, the CTA, as small as possible. Now, a good way to think about this is think about Amazon's one-click purchase. The effort is so low that you're spending some money on a product and you know that Amazon will refund your money or return the item, all that kind of stuff, let you return it. There's low risk, low investment, and they made it so easy to do that that's why they get more purchases by having that one-click button. And believe me, that's fundamental to much of their early and continuing success is that one-click purchase. They actually had a patent on the one-click purchase and had successfully sued competitors for trying to make a 2-click purchase. So that's how valuable it was to them. And as I said, they were successful in upholding that lawsuit. The one-click is no longer under patent because it's over 20 years old now, or 18 years old, but it was so valuable and so fundamental to Amazon's success. It gives you a perfect example of top of funnel, low commitment, low bar. Okay, so here's really what it comes down to. I'm jumping over a lot of stuff because this is my 3rd attempt on this and there was just too much content for me to do this. And that is the elements that are involved in the likelihood of somebody complying or agreeing or doing, taking your CTA, your call to action, is a matter of several things. Now, we already talked about one, which is investment. The other one is perceived risk, right? So if the perceived risk is low, they're more likely to comply. And that's really important, like the one-click purchase with a guaranteed return if you're not happy with the product. Some other things that are, and these are 4 that come from Cialdini's work on from his book Influence, Revised and Updated. I'll put a link here to several videos regarding that if you want to go deep on that. And that is consistency, commitment, consistency, which usually go together as commitment and consistency, social proof, and loss aversion, right? So these are some of the variables that are going to influence the willingness of people to click. That's why you hear, oh, thank you, Tim, you made the purchase. That's excellent. Thank you for joining us from Japan. That's social proof. That's why you see it so often on those, right? It's like, yay, call people out so it makes them feel good. They get their dopamine hit, but also show everybody else who hasn't yet purchased that other people are buying. That's social proof, right? But as I said, what we're really going to get into is one particular one, and that is investment. Now, this goes back to our evolutionary history. We're only going to do a little bit on that, but it will be very simple. It won't be technical at all. That is, people with low or no investment of any kind are somewhere at the top of the funnel, and you have to give them the very lowest effort, the lowest risk hoop to jump through. And if you give them anything else, if you ask them, let's say you want to get their email, if you get their email, their name, and their location, by adding more fields, your conversions will plummet. So you give them either 1 or 2, right? Only the email, but not the name, or then the email and the name, but nothing more, because every time you ask for one more field to be filled out, required, or even if it's voluntary, but you've asked them for it, the more of those you put, the less likely you're going to get conversions. So your conversions will plummet under the case where their investment is low, their familiarity with you is low, the know, like, and trust is low. Up here, small CTAs and asks will give you the highest conversions, okay? So the biggest example, and the one I like the best, is the Amazon one-click purchase. Literally, you only have to click or touch the screen on your phone once to make the purchase, with a low risk and a guaranteed refund if you're not happy with the product, okay? So conversely, if the customer has been in your funnel for a while, and we're down here, right? Awareness, I can't read what that one says. And this is consideration, preference, and so on, going into these lower things: preference, shopping, and purchase. Okay, I'm reading it backwards. That's why it's a little hard. As they stay in your funnel longer, as they have more know, like, and trust in you, or even if the sales channel they came into was a longer thing, they'd never heard of you, but they take a 1-hour workshop with you and they showed up, this is going to be further down the funnel. They've probably already done some complying, or taken some of your other calls to action to get this far down the funnel, but also because they put in the time and effort, because of the commitment and consistency I mentioned earlier, they are more likely to stay there, and they're more likely to backwards rationalize and say to themselves, I must be interested in this. I must be committed to this because I'm still here. Okay, so because of this extra commitment, when you do your CTA, you can ask them for more. That's why you might ask them to purchase, or ask them to take another course, or a small purchase before taking a big purchase. You can give them bigger and bigger hoops to jump through, or higher and higher compliances to do, because they put in more investment. And if you look at this in another way, think of it this way. Remember when iPhones, people used to sit outside Apple stores for days on the sidewalk just to get the latest phone? Or years ago, and this is because I'm ancient now, when Star Wars came out, there was people sitting out, camping out on the sidewalk, or waiting for hours. I don't know if it was days, but sitting on the sidewalk for hours around the block to be the first one in the theater, right? That kind of investment, they're already invested in the Star Wars universe. You can only get that kind of commitment and that effort if they are already fairly deeply invested. So, right, so that really what this means is low motivation or investment, you got to give them the smallest, most effortless CTAs and the lowest cost, even free. The reverse is also true. If they have high investment, high motivation, we can give them bigger CTAs, more challenging things, or higher cost. Now think of this in terms of evolution. If you meet somebody and you don't know them, you can say, hi, how you doing? And there's low risk of getting killed or competition of them stealing your food. Inviting them to your house to stay overnight, you better have more investment and trust, because you could be putting your family at risk or your food supply at risk. So when you think of this in an evolutionary terms, it's not only the investment, but the perceived risk. So as they get more deeply invested down your funnel, and there's more perceived risk, like a $10,000 course, they're only likely to buy into that product, that program, if they've already spent high investment and now have high trust of you, which then that high risk is mitigated by the fact that they feel that they know and the risk is lower because of that trust and because of that investment, which makes them believe, makes them behave in a way you're a part of the family or somebody they now know, like, and trust. That's it for Crush It Club 126, the neuroscience of funnels. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.